sense, the Bishop's Palace, which is actually a 14th century building, has survived remarkably well when you consider, particularly when you realise that it was built using all local materials, which means that in many cases the building stones were not necessarily the best building materials, but they were close at hand and they were convenient, and it was a cost-cutting measure really to use these local stones.
What we're trying to do is take away the lichen to expose the damage so we can repair instead of missing things for later on and the stone starts falling apart. If there's any faults in the stone, the plant material will actually grow into that gap, and after a time it can widen the gap and literally hit pieces of stone off. Any stone, any natural stone has to breathe. If you put a sealant onto the stone, it can't breathe and it will actually decay from the inside and just basically fall apart.
Although we look at St David's and we see the magnificent cathedral and we see the palace and we think how wonderful it was, the actual income of the Bishop of St David's was very small when you compare it with the income of other bishops of the same period. On average, the bishop who was primarily responsible for the palace, Bishop de Gower, had an income of roughly £350 per annum, which came in from a variety of sources, from markets, from tenancies on land owned by the bishops, and by the pilgrims who came to visit St David's throughout the medieval period. £350 sounds quite good until you compare it with the incomes of bishops in Winchester and York who might have been getting £2,500 or £3,000 per annum. Great difference. The buildings therefore needed to be built within this rather more restricted budget, and a very good way of keeping the cost down was not having to transport materials over great distances.
All stone falls apart with old age. Stone doesn't last forever. With this stone in particular, it's very bad for faults. There's never a stone beyond repair. It's how much detail you want to keep. The main thing is to preserve what is there and make safe.